The latest addition to the Swedish Air Force is the versatile Draken fighter J35F. Within seconds of an alert, the J35F is on its way to either patrol or actively defend Swedish airspace. The designers of this aircraft envisioned it as a part of an integrated all-weather weapons system. They included an electronic fire control system, the B-3, that could launch guided missiles on a lead collision course. But Sweden did not have a missile suitable for this tactic. So, with their urgent need, the Swedish Air Force approached the Hughes Aircraft Company in the United States, the developer of the Falcon missiles. The Royal Swedish Air Force Board, KFF, negotiated with Hughes to provide them with the best, most thoroughly tested missiles available for immediate use. The ultimate object of this liaison was to manufacture the missiles in Sweden. The Hughes Aircraft Company and the American government agreed to the plan, and Swedish engineers proceeded to study all aspects of the design and production of the missiles. The Hughes missiles chosen by KFF are of two types, the HM-55 and the HM-58. The HM-58 is an infrared seeker missile incorporating a long-wave detection system. It guides itself by homing on the heat radiated by the target. The HM-55 is a radar seeker missile. It guides itself by homing on radar energy that originates in the launching aircraft and is reflected from the target. The missiles may be launched from a range of less than 1,500 meters up to a range of 50,000 meters. The launch altitude may be anywhere to 21,000 meters, depending on target characteristics. If the target is at a higher altitude than the launching aircraft, a snap-up attack can be made. The HM-58 is a hit-to-kill missile, employing a high-explosive warhead. The HM-55 also employs a high-explosive warhead. The explosive in this warhead, however, is surrounded by a bundle of rods. The ends of the rods are welded together to form a continuous chain. When the warhead detonates, the rods are hurled outward in an expanding circle, severing anything in their path. The warhead has been extensively tested. Here, surrounded by a circle of target plates, the warhead will be detonated to test the continuity of cut. As can be seen from the reassembled target, the expanding rods have a continuous cutting action at a diameter of 18 meters. They produce severe puncture and tearing damage out to a diameter of 36 meters. To detonate its continuous rod warhead, the HM-55 has both a proximity fuse and a contact fuse. The contact fuse detonates the warhead if a direct hit is made. The proximity fuse detonates it if the missile passes within 15 meters of the target. The J35F can carry 4 HM-55 radar-seeking missiles or 4 HM-58 infrared seekers, or a combination of 2 each. The pilot may either fire 2 missiles of the same type or salvo fire all 4 missiles. Over 32,000 Falcons have been produced by Hughes since the U.S. Air Force first adopted this type of missile in 1955. The current reliability figures show that 9 Falcons out of 10 properly launched find and destroy their target. More than 3,000 missiles have been fired from high-performance aircraft in carefully documented tests. This record clearly illustrates why the Falcon was chosen for the J35F B-3 weapon system. Let's consider briefly how the Falcon operates. The HM-55 radar seeker navigates to the target as follows. The antenna of the missile's radar receiver is mounted on the spin axis of a gyroscope. The gyro is precessed by the angular tracking signals from the receiver, so as to keep the antenna trained on the target. The precession rate of the gyro is, of course, proportional to the applied torque. Consequently, as the antenna tracks the target, the angle tracking signals provide a continuous measure of the rate of rotation of the line of sight to the target. The missile's flippers are deflected in proportion to this rate, turning the missile in a direction to reduce the rotation of the line of sight to 0. As a result, the missile steers itself rapidly and smoothly onto a constant bearing collision course with the target. Since the missile's turning rate is proportional to the rate of rotation of the line of sight to the target, this method of guidance is called proportional navigation. The heat-sensing HM-58 missile navigates in much the same way as the HM-55. Both missiles allow a wide latitude and type of attack. They permit the launch aircraft, in this case an American F-102 used in the experimental flight test program, to make pursuit, or lead collision attacks. The pursuit attack is the simplest, since it doesn't require accurate range measurement. The lead pursuit attack has advantages over pure pursuit, since it does not require the missile to correct as large an initial trajectory error. Lead collision is preferred, for it can be made in a straight line from any direction, thus minimizing enemy penetration, permitting successful interceptions with shorter warning, and removing the usual necessity for the launching aircraft to have a speed advantage over its target. In addition to the missile's design, KFF investigated its support requirements. This specialized piece of equipment is used for checking out the Falcon missiles on the ground. The full operational capabilities of the missile can be verified in 10 minutes. Any slight misbehavior in the missile is immediately discovered, and the offending area is quickly located for necessary correction. No aspect of the Falcon system was overlooked. The aim was to take full advantage of the Hughes Aircraft Company's experience in producing high-quality, highly reliable missiles. KFF oversaw the selection of the latest and best missile auxiliary equipment from the Hughes inventory and its modification as needed to complement the J35 B3 system. The production of HM-55 test missiles started early in the program. Simultaneously, field testing began on certain system elements. One was the fuse that triggers the continuous rod warhead. It was flight tested at low altitudes to check its response to the ground, and its behavior was studied in a mobile test van where it was operated against aircraft targets. On the basis of these and other tests, the proximity fuse was set to operate within 15 meters of a 3.6 square meter target. The experimental flight test program for the complete HM-55 and HM-58 missiles was conducted at Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico. 15 missiles were fired in the flight test program, 6 HM-58s and 9 HM-55s. The first test missile, an HM-58, was launched against a QTM-61 Matador target. It missed the target, but provided the information needed for a critical correction in one of the missile's components. The score for the 14 remaining launchings can be best illustrated by a diagram of the 4 targets used: a radar-reflecting parachute, a parachute-supported flare package, a QTM-61 aircraft, and a QF-80 aircraft. 3 HM-55s were fired at the radar-reflecting parachute. The first 2, fired in a snap-up attack, went through the canopy. The third, fired co-altitude, came within 1.2 meters, well within the range at which the proximity fuse operates. The parachute-supported flare package was the target for 3 HM-58s. In 1 co-altitude and 2 snap-up firings, 3 direct hits were scored. 2 Matadors were destroyed by HM-58 missiles, both by direct hits. 6 HM-55s were launched against QF-80s, and all 6 came within lethal radius. Missile 55G-001, 10.3 meters. 009, 11 meters. 003, 7 meters. Missile 55G-007, 4.6 meters. 006, 2.5 meters. 008, direct hit. 14 kills out of 15 test launchings under a wide variety of simulated tactical conditions. The targets were attacked at altitudes between 1,160 meters terrain clearance and 19,215 meters. The missiles were launched from as far as 7,015 meters from the target. The closing rate for attacking aircraft varied from almost 915 meters per second to a little over 365 meters per second. Targets were approached from all angles, including a snap-up launch where the missile was fired from more than 3,660 meters below the target. The flight test program was concluded with the launch of an HM-55 with a live warhead against a QF-80 drone target. Destroyed the target. Swedish confidence in witnessing this highly successful test program is easy to understand. The time is rapidly approaching when these Falcons will be entirely made in Sweden. The real significance of this venture may be realized when one considers that most nations jealously guard their research and development of defense weapons. In this case, a leader in the field of U.S. armament has given every cooperation to the engineers of a neutral nation so that it might improve its defense.